Hey everybody, it's Bust with Bust Builds Decks number 28, continuing our playthrough of Balatro. And so, it's interesting to say before we dive into today's video, we're going to be using the checkered deck on the purple stake, but I saw on the old Reddit yesterday that Local Thunk, I believe is the developer for this game, he made a note that there should be a balance patch coming out within the next week or two. So I'm curious to see what that brings forth. I'm getting ready to kind of finish up our run with Balatro here. I plan on doing about 3 more videos of gameplay and then a review and then moving on to backpack battles. But I'm very curious to see how they approach it in the sense that you can make just a few minor edits to try to get the game as balanced as you can, shore up some of the overtuned cards, rework some of the weaker ones, or as we would see with Legends of Runeterra and Teamfight Tactics, you can make big changes and really bring forth a new feel to the format. And I would really hope that it's more towards the big space. I really feel like this is a very, very good version 1.0 of a game. But there's really only ever a reason to make 2 separate decks, right? You can go towards the flush deck, or you can go towards the pairs deck, and after that, there isn't really too many other decks to chase after. You never build towards straights, you never build towards 3 of a kind, you never build towards 4 of a kind, you never build towards full house. You very rarely build towards 2 pairs. That just involves a square joker, and so I'm very interested in seeing what the changes can do in terms of bringing the power level for all of the hand types to a more uniform state. But nonetheless, that's something for later. This is here for now. We're on the purple stake, the checkered deck. Hit that play button, see what comes up. And so, not a super interesting start. I don't really want the double tag here to start with. Well, maybe we do. Maybe we want to just roll the dice and take the double tag. I'm generally not a huge fan of the double tag unless I know exactly what I'm about to get myself into. But, we're on round 1. Maybe we take a high roll off of this. It's just the problem with this is if you say hit something really nice, like if you hit foil and then you get the 2 foil tags, you may not have enough money to spend on it, and so I probably convinced myself just to skip. But man, like round 1 on the small blind just sucks. You only make money off of the hands that you have remaining, and so it's basically, do we want a double tag or do we want 3 gold, right? Because we can probably play a 300-point flush on our first hand and collect 3 gold. Let's just skip it and take it. Now that we skipped it, I definitely don't want vouchers. That's something that we most certainly can't afford in the next shop, so we'll do battle here. And then the boss, I did note that the boss is all heart cards are debuffed. We ran across this on a couple of checkered deck runs ago, as to where this could be a real back-breaking joker if we're building towards hearts, right? Our deck is 50% hearts, 50% spades, and so if we hit this on round 7 or round 8 and we're super heavy into hearts, we just kind of outright lose. But knowing this is on round 1, we are super safe to build towards hearts the rest of the way because we'll have no trouble finishing that boss off with the spades half of our deck. And so, curious to see how that goes. But nonetheless, let's just go ahead and take some discards. We'll see if we can't hit a very big spade flush here to begin with. Those were the cards that started the biggest with the queens. Probably a little bit short, probably only like 350, and we'll have to play a second hand. But, if that royal flush turns up, then get out of here with one hand. Get that extra dollar. That's big time right there. All of the little edges add up across the course of a run, and so you never know what kind of shenanigans that dollar could have really induced. But got ourselves out of this round pretty easy. Let's see what's in that first shop. Something awesome, I'm sure. Oop. All right, what do we got? Oh, something hit holographic. That holographic misprint is very powerful. This should be able to carry us pretty easily through the early game. Like 15 malt from the banana and things like that tend to carry pretty easily. And then having stuff like just even like a flat +4 malt does wonders in the early game. And so I think we'll be happy enough to pick up misprint. You do see things like the runner. This is exactly what I was talking about in terms of the balance. I'm curious to see how it comes up and how it turns about and manages, as straights decks are probably just the worst deck in the game. It's the most challenging hand to really build around and assemble a deck with. And things like the runner could definitely change in the sense that what if it gave you 20 chips for each straight that you played, or 30 chips for each straight that you played. There's a lot of levers that can be tuned in terms of making this a relevant card, and that in turn making straights more relevant, but right now, this is just not worth it. It's just way too hard to do. And so we'll pick up the Joker. We don't have the money left over to get the Buffoon pack. That's a little bit unfortunate, but we're off to a good start. This is a very, very strong misprint to kick things off with. So do we want to just try and hit a straight flush at this point? I mean, this almost straight flush is probably close to good enough. I mean, it's going to really depend on what the misprint decides to RNG for us, but I usually just like to think of that it's like 10. And if we're getting plus 20 malt out of the misprint, then it's a pretty good deal. We hit it before we hit it off the holographic before the rando malt even came in. So, all right, good stuff. A double tag down here, see if anything cool for it turns up. But what's happening here? Convert left to right. Very powerful tarot card, just kind of a little early for it. I guess we could take it and sit on it, but it might be like round 7 before we're even able to use this thing. So I'm not really excited about it. All cards are face cards is not the start I would want for this either. And so, like, if we had the face, whatever scary face, all face cards give 30 chips on play, then I'd be reasonably happy to pick this up and we could go towards face cards. But this, again, just something that could be very easily be dead early. And so I'd rather just keep the money and get that extra interest. And so let's dive on into the next round. What do we got? And so the voucher definitely going to play through, and then we can skip the foil tag, right? That's a very powerful one to be doubling up. Just get 2 high-powered jokers right here in the early game. Sounds like good stuff to me. All right, so what do we got here? We just quit discarding. we take all of that time in the shop to be like, oh man, we're gonna do our best effort to make sure we save all of these extra dollars, and then come into the hand and not even discard anything. Do as I say, not as I do. I don't have time for that shit, man. I don't have time to sit here and min-max the entirety of the thing. All right, so what do we got? I guess face card stuff is kind of turning up, but the photograph... Oh, I confused myself with this frequently. I knew that the foil tag was coming up on the next one, and then, like, as the specialty joker turned up here, I got kind of excited because I thought that was going to be it, but this is the wrong one. I don't really want the photograph. Like, it's not bad, but it's a tough card to make work right. I guess we could potentially get this up and running with the flush deck, right? If you want to say, how do I most make the photograph work? You need it to be hitting on a mult that scores within hand, right? Because the first face card that you play is going to activate out of a card in hand. And so what you want to have is, say, play like 2, 3, 4, 5 king. And then you want that 2, 3, 4, 5 to have like plus mult activators on it. Or if you have like whenever you play a spade, get +4 mult. Like if you can build all that stuff up before the joker hits, then that's fine. But man, that's like a very long sentence that we just made to try and convince ourselves that this card's not trash. This card's trash, so I'm just going to go ahead and skip over it. We'll continue making money. I am very interested in picking up both copies of whatever the foil jokers are going to be, but man, it's those things. If you have to sit there and explain it that hard, the payoff needs to be pretty big, and I don't think we were getting anywhere near that pretty big payoff. But here, managed to hit the big royal. Nice looking hand there. Give me them dollars. I don't know how it came up. Like with Facebook, I've essentially like canceled everyone out of Facebook that I don't interact with anymore. So there's like from my friend group in West Virginia, there's a handful of people. The people in Kansas City I'm still on there with, and then like maybe a couple of relatives, but it's like I'm down into the double digits for people who are on Facebook. And with them, I think the ones that are active, there might be like 5. Like it's just the only thing I really use it for is people in Kansas City will make a Facebook group for an event, and then I want to be able to access that, so I keep it around for that. But like, I'll occasionally be on there, and where this is going is like, I don't know how it's decided the reels that it's going to show me, like the short YouTube clip video things. Like, I get that it's like read my Google search algorithm, and it sees that I Google search a bunch of home improvement stuff, and so it does have like a lot of really home improvement-y kind of stuff in there, because I've been refinishing my basement and going with all the Google searching that comes with that. But it puts these dudes on there that just do septic tank stuff. They just pump septic tanks. This is where that, I don't even remember what I said, but this is where this tangent was going. It's like the dudes start to like vacuum out the septic tank, and then they just go like, "Woo, smells like money," because that's where the poops get collected. But it's always nice to see those dudes that have what would be, I guess, a dirty job, if you will, cleaning up people's doo-doos. Having some good light, having some fun with it. But nonetheless, back to the action here. Man, what a terrible Joker in the 8-ball. This is one that's actually being reworked. I saw within the notes on Reddit that 8-ball is going to be changed from create a planet card if the hand contains two or more 8s, which is just hard to do, and then the payoff is super, super low. I think it was like when you play an 8, there's a chance of something else happening. It's much more reasonable. But this is like a real bummer in terms of making use of our foil tag. I'm fairly sad about what just happened there. And so moving forward, though, we've got the 25 gold. Let's spend a little bit of that. I'm going to go ahead and use the Emperor, see what tarot cards turn up. We hit the Magician for a lucky card, the Hanged Man to destroy some cards. Now we can crack open the actual Arcana pack and have a lot more options in terms of what we're able to edit here. And so a fairly weak set. The Wheel of Fortune, don't really even want to activate since it can overwrite what's on the misprint. Generating planet cards kind of sucks, and so the only real thing to be doing here would be generating spades, which I'm fine with. Like this king and queen coming to spade is fine. We did make mention of the hearts being safe the remainder of the run, but it's not super likely that we'll even run into the spades or debuffed Joker, and so kind of is what it is. But we still got our 20 gold. What do we got now? +3 hand size, +3 hand size. Those all suck. And then the last boss is a non-boss with the flush deck here. We'll see if we continue on with the flush deck. We haven't actually picked up any direction for our deck. We just have the one good Joker, and we've started playing flushes because they're easy. But what is really kind of concerning at this point is we don't have any scaling Jokers, right? We don't have the square Joker. The straights Joker was the only one we've seen at this point. And so we might struggle as the run progresses to just find enough stuff to do in the later game. But let's keep discarding. We'll see if we can't just hit a very big flush here. Oh, let's look good enough. We can keep hanging on to the Hanged Man. Let's go ahead and just drop the Magician. I guess we'll put it on the old Ace of Spades. And I guess this hand's probably close enough to win. I don't quite remember what we were scoring earlier on these hands with the Malt Joker. You hit +16 in there, big number, but we didn't hit the old fire hand. And we're out of discards as well. All right, let's just get these crappy red cards out of here. I was hoping to get a little bit of a better Hanged Man, but it's not that big of a deal. 18 malt coming out of the top end of the Joker. I'm curious what the spread is on this. Like, you watch it, 22 is the biggest one I've seen in there, and so I'm curious as to what the actual spread of things to hit is. But we picked up a straight flush to 5. That'll most certainly get us this last 700 chips. Move on to the next round. Hey. Big $5. Didn't feel worth it. Now, what's this thing we'll get stuck with? Fortune Teller is actually usable. This is one of the very interesting scaling Jokers in the sense that it's the +1 malt for tarot cards used throughout the run. And so it can be, somewhat useful in the early game. It kind of sucks early, right? It's only going to give us +4 malt. But the interesting thing with it to me is if you just pick it up in round 8, it reads into how many tarot cards you've played. It doesn't need to see you actually play it. You just need to have played them across the course of the game. And so I'm interested in this. This is giving us a kind of scaling joker to build around. But I'm going to crack the Arcana pack first. If it has the Hermit in it, we'll get a little bit more money out of it this way. So we got Convert to Clubs, Tarot cards, and Mult cards. Let's just take the 2 random tarots. Going to give us a little bit more juice to the fortune teller that we're about to kick off. So we hit Wild card, and then we did hit the Hermit. To double up our money. Smells like it. Oh, shit. What do we got here? That's a very good heart. I think I'm going to go ahead and pick it up. Like, there's still reasonable chances we'll play heart flushes along the way. And then if we can convert that to a spade, that would be pretty reasonable as well. So fairly decent option. We'll pick up the fortune teller tarot. And is this the flush? I guess we will just be building towards flushes here. Like, I don't want to act like the singular celestial card is going to be enough to convert us. We can most certainly still build towards other hands, but as far as the direction we've been given at this point, it kind of seems like what we're doing. Let's see. We'll hang on to the lovers. See if we can't find. We did have an ace within there that we could have targeted, but let's just go ahead and get this flush full. It'll be a big score in there. Give us that extra $1. That's what it's all about, right? To get that extra $1. So one of the interesting things with the flush full is that tarot card or that celestial card won't show up until you physically play it, right? So if you have 5 of a kind or flush full, and then there's one other one, the cards just don't show up throughout the run. But once you play that hand, it does become an active celestial card. And so there is some valid reason to not playing a hand like that, since we're probably not going to play any more flush fulls throughout the remainder of the run. And then that dum-dum is just kind of like locked into showing up. And so it is what it is. It's a neat one to show. So might as well do it. And then interesting with the Wrathful Joker, right? Played cards with the spade suit give 4 mult when scored. We're pretty good with flat mult at this point, right? We have a bunch coming out of the misprint. The fortune teller's ramping up, but pretty much 20 flat mult throughout the course of the run is going to be good. But the big thing with the Wrathful Joker is it opens up the strength in things like steal cards, right? When we were talking about the face card earlier and how it scores, and wanting to do something with, say, the Wrathful Joker to where we get spade, 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 spade for 16 mult, and then that face card king thing hits at the very end and turns that 16 into an X2. Like, that's what you're able to do with the Wrathful Joker because the scoring happens that way. So steel cards work better, glass cards work better. If you have something like the rare king that activates 1.5x mult for every king in your hand, like the Wrathful Joker works nice in those sense. And so I think it's okay to pick up here, but we don't want any flat mult the rest of the way. We're going to just look for something that gives us bonus chips, and then we're going to look for something that gives us X mult. So I guess we could have built towards straights today, huh, with the shortcut, but no thank you. And see, here's exactly where the game needs tuning, in my opinion, right? The 4 of a kind is an exceptionally hard hand to hit, and this thing gives flat 20, right? We're very easily getting flat 20 out of the Wrathful Joker, which is even better, and then we're very easily getting flat 20 out of the misprint, doing literally no work. Right, and so it's kind of insane to me that this thing only gives 20. I don't know what the balanced number is. Should this give like 50 or 60 or 70? Like, I don't know, but 20 is just way too low to ever make the payoff for building around 4 of a kinds worth it. Now, you can use it in your highlight reel video when you're playing special seeds or something, but it's just very tough to actually come in and do. Now that we're activating on the spades, I'm going to pick up that steel. It was a club, so it's a little bit off in terms of what we can hit with the flushes. But again, if we can come in and convert it, that would be kind of nice. Just get the good spade action onto it. All right, so that's as good as it's going to get. We've spent all of our discards. Got to play 5 this hand, but we were going to be doing it anyways. We'll just drop the biggest score we can. Easy. Okay. What do we got here? +1 hand size, not bad. Both Arcana packs I'm happy to crack, though. Let's start with these. The Economy Joker there I'm not super interested in, but maybe we'll take it. And here, the wild card is interesting, but let's just stack up these dollars real quick. Our money's looking pretty strong here, and we're going to want to continue to open pack after pack after pack after pack, and so having a couple dollars doesn't hurt. What we got in here? Lucky card, 2 random tarets, and the Hermit again. I'm just going to take the random tarets here just to help level up the Joker. It's probably the wrong one. Like, taking all of that money does feel exceptionally strong. But, you know, we're fucking up all of our advantages left and right, so why not just why not continue to do it a little bit more? So here with the to-do list, this is one, again, you have to really kind of read into how these cards work. There's a lot of things to where there's like the Joker to where if your hand contains something, right? So if your hand contains a pair, gain 8 malt. That's not how the to-do list works. This does not earn $5 if the poker hand contains 2 pair, so we can't play a 2-pair flush. This is earn $5 if the poker hand is a 2-pair, and so we're just never going to activate that thing. But we did like really high roll in terms of our tarot cards. We hit the World to convert to spades, the Hierophant for bonus cards. Looking pretty strong. We're looking really well this run. And now the Economy tag, double for 40. Sure. As far as these other ones go, we need to play through the Handy tag and then the Boss with cards played previously in this Ante or debuffed. I think we've been running through these hands with just one, right? And so I think we'll be okay. This is an interesting one, though. I want to use the World to convert this 9. Like, this is a very important 9 to convert, but I don't want to, like, be left with no spades in hand, right? Or no hearts in hand, and so that turned out kind of okay. We can turn these 3 hearts into spades. And that... thought we had a big straight flush here. It's a little bit short. All right, 8, 9, 10. There's no jack. Cool. But big score nonetheless. Glad to get that 9 converted over. We'll save the bonus cards for the Boss. I don't think it's going to matter. We've been steamrolling through these rounds pretty easily, but might need it, especially as we do stuff like that, huh? Where we fall short. I thought that was just going to be a massive hand, and I was incorrect. The misprint must have low rolled or something on that one. So I'm just going to play the bad flush here. I just assume it's going to finish for us, and then the bad cards will be the weakened one on the next Boss. Alright, what you got for us? Sell to create a double tag? Like, maybe. You know, we aren't full on jokers anyways, and then discard face cards is whatever. So let's crack these packs. We'll start with Spectral. See if something cool turns up. Create a copy of a random joker, destroy the others. That's... like... if we could sell the Wrathful Joker, I would kind of be interested, right? Doubling up Fortune Teller would be pretty strong. Doubling up Misprint wouldn't be terrible, but we're not really like locked and loaded into jokers at this point. But if we do the like create a copy and get stuck with 2 Wrathful Jokers, that's going to feel pretty bad. And so I'm not super interested in that. Let's just put this purple seal onto a heart. Does tie into the tarot card thing, even though it is one of the weaker seals in the game. Move forward. So what do we got? The Fool to convert to spades is not that bad. Planet cards, don't care. Lucky card sucks. Wild card sucks. Create random tarots, I'm not opposed to. But I think we just want this spades thing. We're getting very close to Just having a deck full of spades. Where are we at this point? 32 spades to 19. I guess I should say, where did this random shit come from? Where's this like rando diamond? What the fuck's going on? Why does this keep changing? To effective. What the fuck does effective mean? It's because we have the wild card. Quit doing that. And so we've got 32 spades, 20 non-spades right now. Something does happen. I know I unlocked I unlocked achievement for having 30 spades within the deck, so it might activate the 8 malt spade thing later on in the run. Not entirely certain, but we'll take the double joker. We've got a lot of money. Let's see if anything interesting turns up. Malt if the hand contains a pair kind of sucks, and then the last one will stop here. Constellation, it's not great. This is a kind of like, it feels like the kind of middest of the X malt jokers, but you want this really early in the run. We're never going to get this up like to probably even X2, and so I don't think we want to fuck around with that. Could go with Riff Raff, but now let's just move on. Riff Raff, he cracks me up. Riff Raff is a rap artist, and he does a song called Dolce and Gabbana, and my wife hates it. She can't get over that he doesn't say the words right. And so, as you can imagine, someone such as myself, I just keep repeating it over and over again. If she's gonna get upset about it, then I'm just gonna start repeating it. And so, there's an absolutely fantastic bakery in Kansas that it's called Dolce, and so anytime we go there, I use it as an opportunity to say Dolce and Gabbana. She gets a little upset, but is what it is. That's part of being married. Is what it is. All right, let's get ourselves out of this hand. I don't think we're going to get the 20K on this one play. I thought we might come up with a straight flush, but we have a 4 straight flush. I thought we might have a full house, but there's only 3 queens, and so just the old regular flush it is. But let's see if we can't use the bonus cards to fight through this a little bit harder. Love the lyrics. I got 7 butt nakeds, sip and drink in my sauna, only fuck with hoes who rock Dolce and Gabbana. See, I know that one. He uses one of my favorite lines as well. It's within the same song. He says, I'm down with the mathematics. I keep my paper stacking. I motherfuck subtraction. Because, you know, he just makes so much money. I love it. I love it. Motherfuck subtraction. It's what you nerds need to put on when you're doing your Balatro homework. You're out here finger counting all of these chip values, trying to figure out what you're gonna score. Just out here saying motherfuck subtraction. But all right, what do we got going on here? I don't think we need to hieroglyph in this run. Like, we don't have any real scaling cards in our hand. Replaying through the ante doesn't sound that spectacular just to level up the fortune teller. And so I'm probably going to purchase the Jolly Joker. Going to lead off with the Arcana pack, though. Let's see what turns up here. The Fool for bonus card. Steel card is what I'm mainly interested in. Wheel of Fortune we could roll. If the steel card wasn't here, then I would probably roll on the Wheel of Fortune. And let's just steal up, say, like the 7 of spades. It's like, I like it in that space of, we don't really want to play it, right? But if we have to play a flush, then the 7 is kind of fine, right? We want to be playing our aces and our kings and our queens and our big straight flushes, and we don't really want to be playing the smaller cards, but we're kind of like removing and fucking around with the smaller cards, so you kind of want these mid cards to be the steel ones. So if you have to physically play it, then it's not, you know, the complete worst, but you're intending on just letting it sit back in your hand. Alright, what else we got? Crack this standard pack. Get us a good spade. Ooh, a steel 10. I like it. I like it. Oh, we still get a chance for one more? Why not? It was a purple tarotted joker, and so if we get a chance to pick some of those up, it won't hurt. So not bad. I mean, we don't have any flat malt joker or flat chip jokers, but we do have 2 foils for 100, which isn't terrible. Our flat malt is exceptional. We don't have any super scaling at this point, right? But we do have 3 steel cards up to this point, and so that's kind of nice as well. So I did want to take a quick moment to peek at these these tags. We do have the Diet Cola in hand to get a double tag, but I don't really want to double up on either of these. I don't want to collect on either of them either, and so looks like we're taking the long road today, battling through these hands. What are we building up to here? We kind of got the makings of a straight flush. I want to make sure we use our discards to a degree. I would like to discard some of those tarot cards if we can. Those purple seals, I should say. Where are we at? Ace, King, Queen, 10, 9. Keep the steel in hand. Ace, King, Queen, Jack, 10. Straight flush. All right, this is where the steel starts to be good. We're going to collect the 20 malt off of the Wrathful. And then the steel will activate after that. Typically, if you just have a hand where, I don't know what's our flush at, like 4, right? 4 malt, 6 malt, right? Just having it activate for 3 doesn't feel very good, and so nice to come in and pick that up. But all right, only 21k. This should be enough to finish off the hand first, though. Fairly strong looking numbers here. All right. Comfortably winning these. Not bad. So what do we got? The 2 pair trousers. Definitely not trying to scale that up. The flush card is going to be quite good. That's what we're playing essentially every single hand. And might as well crack these Celestials. We got all those dollars, right? See, there's the flush full. We'll just go ahead and buy it. Make sure we've got it on our road to 100%, but I don't think we'll ever use it. We got in here garbage, so we'll just take the high card. Moving on up. So many hearts. Alright, didn't hit the straight flush. Purple card. These purples keep coming in just like a moment too late. So we'll probably have to two-hand this again. It feels like this was about a 21k hand on the last run. We do have some big scoring in here just in terms of chip numbers, so maybe it's a little higher, but it should be right in there. 17? Even worse. $26. Easy peasy. So I didn't watch any of it. I saw that there was a Balatro competition, a Balatro tournament amongst mainly Twitch streamers, but there were some YouTube people on there as well. And those people were putting up massive scores. They're definitely doing way bigger than we are. I know that they were playing on they were playing on white stake, and then everyone was playing on the same seed, and they do essentially an endless run. The way that it was set up is you just got the highest score that you could within an hour. And literally everybody was up in the scientific notations on the run, and so very interesting to see that pop up. It's all the different ways you can come out and enjoy the game. But here we'll take the old we'll take the tarot card tags. What do we hit? Create a random joker in the tower. They're kind of almost the worst ones that we could be picking up, but still looking strong. No real worries with this one. 1 in 7 cards face down is not that big of a deal. You can just sort by suit, and then you can tell that this face down card is a spade because it's between all of the other spades. And so I guess we can just go ahead and drop that. We've got the steel 7 in hand, and we can kind of see if we pick up a purple seal or if we need to discard some of these reds to try and get some better hands along the way. But I mean, I don't think we're going to struggle to hit 50k. We've been pretty easily hitting around the 20k mark on the past few hands, and so shouldn't be a real struggle this round. We did spike a purple seal in here, but if we... Yeah, it's okay to discard. Let's put our wild card 10 down here at the end. We're going to have to play one of these randos just to get out of our hand, and the tower is garbage. I want the malt, but like it does literally nothing in our deck. It's just actual worse than having a heart. But I want the malt off of our scaling joker. Where are we at here? 1, 2. That's probably close enough. Trying to hold on to as many steals as we could. Then here we hit the hearts. I guess we can convert hearts into hearts and not feel as bad about it, but not quite where I want to be. And then this is a awkward one. We can't tell what this face card is, or this face down card is. Well, we could just play the 10, right? It doesn't matter. There we go. I said out loud that the 10 was wild, and then I completely forgot about it. So it's tough. It's tough. $31K. Get us out of here. Hopefully something cool turns up fast for this Diet Cola. I don't want to just sit on it. Like, I mean, we can sell it and just get the double tag, but kind of like to know what we're getting ourselves into before we spend it. I guess, like, realistically, what are we just not going to purchase with this thing? And so, let's just go ahead and use it. I'm going to sell it. We get the double tag. I'm going to create a random joker. That's what that tarot card was. Is that a rare? No. I'll just sell the rocket. I don't want it. I know. That's a fast sell, but I don't care. Yeah, I don't care. That's the great way to go after things. And so, what do we got? Destroy 2 cards. Hermit for money. Make diamonds, make steel we're interested in, or convert left to right. I'm a little bit more interested in steel. We could convert left to right on the ace, but convert this 5. Oh, we do get to use both, so let's get the... Oh, we would much prefer to just convert left to right again. Maybe we should have done it on the 10. I wasn't quite paying enough attention there. I thought this was just a single pack. Like, we'd probably rather have 2 steel 10s than 2 steel 5s. Alright, but let's spend a couple dollars. Get the Pluto. Get the Celestial pack. Feels like we're doing good. This is what it feels like when we're just cruising through, and then we get to, like, the Ante 7 boss and just... like fall flat completely short and don't really understand why. It's I don't know. It feels like everything is going okay in this run, and so well, I guess we'll see. But here, if you're not familiar with this, whenever you purchase this overstock voucher, the +1 card in the shop, it's going to refresh the shop, and so this is a very good deal, right? Every shop from now on is going to have an additional card, but a reroll is 5, right? And so we're basically paying for the price of 2 rerolls to get a free one now. Like, it's a very good value right here. So what do we got? 15 malt with 0 discards remaining. It's not bad, but we don't need the flat malt anymore. I know we're about to run into this next round without a full set of jokers. Let's give it one more spin, I guess. 80 chips for flush is decent. Don't want an eternal scoring card, and then ooh, the runner's back. we don't need the chip card, but it's fine here. It's going to work with what we're doing. We want flat malts or X malt. That's where we're really lacking at this point. So I think I want to use the double tag on this Mega Buffoon pack. We'll pick that up next round. Oops, I forgot to see what the boss was. But I would really like the opportunity to upgrade our malt. Completely need to do it that bad here. We're gonna fire off 3 of these steel cards, but That's, again, the only place we're really hurting. Is I'd like to get rid of the Crafty Joker. Wouldn't hurt to get rid of the Jolly Joker. Well, no, he's our flat chip thing. But getting rid of the Crafty Joker for X Malt is good enough at the end of the day. Getting 4 cracks at Jokers seems like a decent deal. All right. Go us. Alright, so what do we got going on here? The Blue Joker, I am usually a fan of the Blue Joker. It's just one of the best flat malt, or the best flat chip cards in the game, but you're typically wanting to play high card hands, right? If you see the way we've been sequencing this, we typically discard like 4, and then play 5, and then play 5 again. That gets you pretty deep into your deck. When you're using this thing, you would prefer to just play a high card and stop, right? So you only get -2 off of the Blue Joker, then you play your next card, you only get -2 off of the Blue Joker. It upgrades very nicely, but I don't think that that's quite where we want to be here. So we'll get rid of that. Come crack that. Tarot card was fine. I don't remember what our last one was in case the Fool turns up, but it's locked in on the flush now. I'm kind of interested in just getting rid of some of these hearts. That was getting a little awkward in the previous hand to where we're having to get our X Malt out of the steel cards. And then just having the red cards turn up was a bit painful. So a glass 5 is fine. Give us, again, some malt out of hand. It's the kind of same thing as to where if we line it up, that's going to give us a bunch of malt because of our Wrathful Joker. So what do we got? These look like trash. 2 pair of pants, straights and flushes with 4 cards. Gross Michael's not horrible. And then retrigger face cards I don't think we're going to use. So let's just sell some of this stuff and at least make dollars. Can't tell how much any of these sell for, so I'll just buy the uncommon ones. Sell the 2 pair thing. If we get stuck with one, I guess I'd prefer it to be 4 fingers. It does let us make a play in terms of using our steel card, but not where we want to be. Yeah, these jokers are all just garbage. So economy, I guess free reroll is where we want to be. Ew. I was hoping with 8 jokers turning up, we were going to get something, right? There wasn't even like a hologram that turned up. All right, onto the mouth though. Only play one type of hand this round. We're more than fine to just play flushes. More than fine. So we'll get a tarot card out of this. We hit the lovers, make a wild card. I think we want to discard heavily. I don't think we're going to struggle to finish off the round, but we don't have any steel cards yet, and so I think we just want to discard 5 and try and get some of that in our hand. It does suck that we won't have a way to get rid of red cards after that. There's not a ton we can do about it. We did hit that flush 5. It involves burning a steel, though. Or the flush house. All right. $30K. I mean, that's rough, right? That's kind of like right in the space of where we have to be to get out of this. We got 3 hands. It helps a little bit to have a good one there, but once we just play like a shitty 20K hand, we're going to be struggling a little bit, and so I worry about that a little bit. Can do something like, don't have to use the wild card on the 10 just yet. I think I want to save the 5 for once we have more steel cards in hand. Right? So we can do something like this. Play only one hand type this round. Oh my gosh, we did just fuck that up, didn't we? God damn it. Oh, that's the way it's gonna end, isn't it? I was like, I started to try and score this and get this shit out here, and it's like, why doesn't this work? Oh, we fucked that up. Oh my god. I guess we'll see if we can get out of here. So the way that we're gonna have to try and do this, god damn it, is we can convert the 10 to a wild, hang on to the 10s and 5s, play this flush that doesn't involve the steal card, and then we're just gonna have to get there. Oh, that was so brutal. Like I completely forgot about the boss ability, and that's so bad. That's so bad. So we have the option kind of between queens and 10s. Like, these need to go. Fuck. Oh, that's so brutal. We do have a large number of 5s left in our deck. We've still got 5 in there. 2 of them are spades, it looks like. Or is that just counting the ones that are still in our hand? Well, I think this is the kind of space that we need to be in. We can hang on to the, which is like, man, we have to hit a queen like that. I don't know if it's better to leave ourselves open to hitting a queen or a 10. Maybe we just have to get rid of the 7 at this point. But we only scored like 30k on the last one. That is so brutal. We were gonna get out of this so reasonably, and then I just completely slipped my brain. So what do we got? There's a couple of queens. We've got 3 queens, and then the pair of 10s, but we can only make the 1 wild. Well, no, we do have the sun to convert to hearts, the one that we've we've forgotten about from ages ago. So I guess that's the answer. We only have 1 steel card in hand. Let's use the lovers as well. It just gives us, I don't think the malt is going to matter at this point, but it gives us the 1 more on the fortune teller. Fuck. Okay. Can't believe I did that. Well, I can believe it. That's not. I'm no stranger to that happening. I just had in my head, it was like, oh, we're just playing flushes. Is never gonna fuck this up. And then you play the hand like that, and it just completely sinks the run. So yeah, that's such a bummer to have it come together like this. It's I don't know what the answer to that is. Like, it's really unfortunate in the sense, to me, like, when you play a run like this, it's going pretty well. You know, we're right on the edge of the deck being not good enough, right? As we're playing these hands, we know we need these hands to get like a little bit better. We've been playing about 20 to 25k hands. That's kind of tough to do over the course of 100k, but I felt like we were at the space to where that was kind of coming together. We had the glass card to hold on to. We started to pick up some steals, and as we cycled through the deck more, the deck should start to score better as we get more steals in hand. And then ideally, on our last hand of the turn, we're going to play that glass 5 and then activate the flush from there, get the extra malt bonus, have the steals go, and then just be enough to finish off the round. And, you know, it was, you know, kind of tense and interesting in how close it was going to be there. But, man, it's such a bummer when this shit comes about like this, as to where, you know, you slip and you play a hand, and not only did you lose out on potentially finishing an interesting run, you just kind of feels like you just lost out on the last 45 minutes of your life. And I don't know what the answer is. Like, you know, just like there is, just say, hey, bust, get good, or you say, hey, bust, pay more attention. But, you know, like, it's just like when you're out here trying to have fun playing a game, like, it would be kind of nice if you could just rewind something like that, to not have it be so brutal, because it's like I don't have time to make another video today. This is going to be what it is, and it just sucks to be, you know, in that kind of crushing spot like that. And so, I guess lesson learned, pay more attention. But it's such a bummer to just have the run end like that. I felt like the tension was good, in terms of where things were going, and we weren't just face smashing the run, but we weren't just auto losing either. Like, I felt like we were in a good space in terms of interestingness, and To have it taken away like that just feels like not only a bummer for me, but a bummer for the 9 people that'll watch the video. And so it kind of sucks to have it finish like that. But nonetheless, I think there was probably at least some interesting things to learn across the course of the game. We didn't really find a lot of direction, but we were doing the best that we could in terms of what the jokers gave us, and so we did land on the flush deck because we didn't find any scaling, and that was just kind of what the game presented. And then we did finally pick up a bit of the scaling there towards the end with the usage of the steel cards, and so I thought it was kind of interesting that we were getting to build towards that, and we were starting to micromanage our deck to where instead of getting our malt from the jokers, we were going to get our malt out of hand with the steel cards, but just kind of bummed it at the end, and that's where we're at. And so good run with that. I had fun, I guess. I hope you did too, because that is going to do it for us today. So hope everyone enjoyed the video. Hope you maybe learned a thing or two along the way. You had a good time watching. This is Bustin' Me. Thank you for being here.